Hello teachers, welcome to the second of our videos, and this one is about content, what our content looks like, the format, the instructional design elements, kind of giving you some suggestions on how your material could and perhaps should possibly look. Now obviously it's up to you how you want it to sort of be laid out, and each of you in, say for example, group A, your content doesn't all have to look the same. Similarly with group B, your content doesn't all have to look the same. It's nice if as individuals you have a theme that runs through your content at the very least. So if you're doing the first 10 objectives, there's a degree of continuity in what the student can expect. So I'm just going to introduce this video and show you some examples of content before briefly showing you how to create a nice heading in your resource, and then in the next video looking at embedding SlideShare or Prezi. Okay, so first time round, let's take a look at a note on the Maya in Caribbean history, created by this teacher, Veta Dawson. And this note, prominent title here with a color scheme. I think she may have used one of our templates, which I'll show you shortly. This is the title area for the platform's own reference. That is, this is what it uses to index and search. This white area is what is printed on the page. Okay, so it's always important to have a title here, even though you may have put a title in at this point. So this teacher has put in big images, label on the image, and lots of text. So history has a lot of text involved. And as you see, nice images laid out down the page. Nothing too fussy, very straightforward. More images. And a little comment at the end I think I'd left in a previous video, which is, having read this, what do you have to say about the Mayan civilization? So if the teacher creates a note like this, at the end there's a public comments area where the teacher, just here, could type a comment into this area and allow a discussion to flourish on the note or any points in the note that they want to re-emphasize. Now we do that in public comments. So once your material has been published, you can add a comment at the bottom. Or you, at the bottom of your note, could invite the student, now in the comments area below, leave your feedback on or discuss what you think might be said in this resource. So you could stimulate a discussion. Public comments are for students, educator comments are for teachers. Teachers only. So students will not see educator comments. So an educator comment, as in the previous video, if I have an issue, I want to raise it with you privately, the students won't see. So this is an example of a note. Big, long images, fairly simple. No video, no animation. Maybe the topic doesn't lend itself to it that much, but student is doing a lot of reading, but there's stuff to see. Another example now, if we look at this one from accounting, if I click on it, slightly shorter. But note here what I want to draw your attention to, a little question marks, little note. So this note is delivering its material, but they're little pointers. Now, can you please tell us what you would expect? Your answer should be, analyzing the transactions means you should be able to write your own transactions. So it's almost like a self-help study guide, as opposed to the first format, which was a clear note, just explaining. So there is no guide that the student should say, for the student to say, now having read about social organization, you will be able to note this, or have a think about how Mayan structure differs from contemporary societal structure in Jamaica, or in Antigua or in Barbados, in the Caribbean at large. So there isn't that instructional element that guides the student through vis-a-vis the first. Here we have note it, question mark. So these icons will be available in an icon folder, which I'll show you in a subsequent video. So you can use them to punctuate your material, to just draw attention to things. Another example I wanted to show you of this, though, briefly, is how there's a lot of use of tables. I think if I pull up a note here, see, again, it sits in a table, this teacher's put it in a table to draw attention to it. Now, can you tell us what you would expect? Exactly. Your answer should be, and it's sort of referenced in the use of a table. So tables become quite important. And then a smiley face. So you kind of, depending how you want to present your material. In this example, on the heart, You're dealing with animation on the page. Looks really good. Can be labeled. Now these exist on the internet and can be inserted into your material. It's easier to find them than to make them, and again, more relevant for sciences than for history or even agricultural science. But the moment a student hits this page, they see a big title, they see a really nice animation, again the use of tables to structure, again the page break, very faint, but we're seeing a clear demarcation, so the content is introduced up here. Then there is a section here for the table, then there is a couple of images, and there's links to other websites, as you see here. This is the National Cancer Institute. I think it's an American resource, but this, with all the Cancer Institute backing, is perhaps not much better than the note that this teacher has created. And at the bottom you've got a video where you can play a video to reinforce your knowledge. So all in all, this is a first-class and excellent resource. It takes you way beyond a textbook, way beyond. The only thing one could say would be missing, maybe a quiz. A little test your knowledge, but that could come in a subsequent note underneath it. So you don't necessarily need to give them the information and test them in the same resource. That might make it a long resource. So this is quite a good, structured, high-quality resource. Wonderful instructional design properties. If we look at another one now, this was for CSSLC Mathematics. If we click on this one, this teacher, bright and bold, maybe your thing, may not be, idiosyncratic, so if you want to have a bright lime green, I think it is, title, go for it. And then we have Tweety Pie and Sylvester as the main characters. And it's almost as if the small one is the wiser of the two, if you want to put it that way. And you have a simple format where you click and it takes you to another resource here. Okay, so this is really just pulling together a theme. And if I open another example of this from this teacher, again, we've got Sylvester asking, how do I? And Tweety Pie, the little one, telling him how. A little video here which will play, cool maths. And again, we're looking at Sylvester at the end. So she is pulling in successfully, I might add, material from other websites and assembling it on her page. Okay? So how do you get started? So these are simple examples of content. And accounting, as I say, has a lot of use of tables, and it depends how you would like your material, I suppose, to be structured. Big images is also another example. So little light bulbs for ideas, links to reference where this site has come from, so the student can go to another web page to see their information, and again a use of table to frame it, and of course videos. Careful with the videos, you don't want overkill. You want them to be big enough to be easy to understand. And then images that they have created, annotated, and then uploaded, and then inserted in. So, you know, different elements. Again, more relevant for accounting than perhaps for sciences. Okay, so if we look at our note here, and we just look to get started on a simple note here. The business of farming, the role and importance of farming, importance of agriculture. Add new content, put my title in, importance of agriculture. Okay, create. So this takes me into our editor. Now we've created some templates. The first of which has gone up, which is for your heading. Click Advanced, Insert Template, Heading Template. Okay, and in goes your heading. You can, if you wish, click on the table, click on Table Properties, and change through Advanced. Click on Background Color and change the color. If you want it to be a little bit more blue, you're more than welcome to do so. Throw it a little bit more blue if you wish. And then these prompts to just say type your text here, so you can delete this and then start typing your note, or you can insert a video. Okay? So the context is that this is not really acceptable. Importance of agriculture, a YouTube search. Why was agriculture so important? You can of course watch the video, review it, ensure it's suitable. You can watch it in the preview. Make sure you're happy with it. Once you are, insert it. Now, just space it across the page, see how far across you want it to go. Enter, space it if you want it to go a little bit further. But some people do this, they click save, and that's their resource. You look at the preview button, that's the resource there in preview. Now if you have poor bandwidth, or the video by the owner has been taken down, you don't have much going on here. And you haven't really guided the student in what to do first. So we could start by saying, let us explore the importance by first defining da-da-da-da-da-da. And once I've done that, maybe I want to enter a horizontal line. Page break that goes right across my page. That's framed my text, okay? And then I've got this next bit of content. If you want more space, put the mouse here and drag it down. Scroll down, drag it down. Then you can start typing and entering in on your page. So you've got your video, but you want to introduce the video. Now let us take a look at this video. Dum, 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 dum. And away you go. So this is a simple prospect of how you can lay out your content and how it can work quite effectively for you. Okay? So I'll leave it at this for the moment, and because it's a 12-minute video, and this then gives you further idea of how you can insert either another page break or some more material at the bottom. So this is just how you get started on a note. In the next video, we'll look at the body and substance of a note. And instead of using the template, we'll create our own heading from scratch. Okay? So if I save this, save our note, and I come out, then what should happen is, in simple terms, we're up and away. Importance of agriculture, some explanation. We're telling them now to watch the video, and we can take it from there. Okay.